Virginia Congressman John McGuire hopes his Birthright Citizenship Clarification Act clears up confusion about the law and reshapes how citizenship is granted to children born here in the United States. But critics say it raises serious constitutional questions, especially following the recent Supreme Court decisions upholding the 14th Amendment.
So joining us now to discuss the legislation and more is Congressman John McGuire. So good morning, Congressman. So walk us through the Birthright Citizenship Clarification Act and what exactly it would do.
Well, first of all, it's just outrageous that 1.5 million communist Chinese could fly over here and use the Democrat stupid law of same-day registration, vote in our elections, turn our country communist, and fly right back to China. I don't know when are the Democrats going to stop being for those that hate our country and start being for us? Yeah. So this law says if you're here as a legal citizen and you have a baby in our country, then yes, they'll be a citizen of the United States. But if you look on the border in Mexico, they have signs up right now saying $4,000 will get you across the border to an American hospital. You get a golden ticket, and using taxpayer dollars, you're American citizen the rest of your life, using our benefits, our dollars. It's outrageous. It's ridiculous. And this codifies a President Trump executive order.
Yeah, and as you know, the Supreme Court recently upheld birthright citizenship under the 14th Amendment. Do you think this law would run afoul of that decision?
Well, I think it would fix that bad decision. Okay. I think are just outraged at that Supreme Court decision, and I think you know how I feel about it.
So I do want to shift gears here now, Congressman. So we're seeing some disturbing images from Iran and the funeral of the former Ayatollah. Many messages calling for the assassination of President Trump. Again, these are images Iran wants us to see, provided by Iranian state media. But how can we negotiate with people who clearly have murder on their mind? They hate America, they hate Israel, they hate President Trump.
Well, President Trump and his administration, all-star team, they're very smart. Marco Rubio, J.D. Vance, Jared Kushner, Steve Witkoff, they're great negotiators. But it's a regime of terror, an ideology of death. And they've terrorized the world for almost 50 years. They've killed American soldiers and citizens, #1 state-sponsored terror in the world. What we learn in the military, you may know I'm a Navy SEAL veteran, we learn there's a bully on every corner, and if you don't punch him in the nose, it just gets worse. It's all over the news that they murdered 40 to 50,000 of their people in the streets because they had a different opinion. So I personally don't think you can negotiate with them. You just have to be strong, and we've taken out 80% of their ability to conduct war, and maybe we just need to finish the job.
And many outlets, including Axios, reporting that some House Republicans reportedly think that restarting the war could really cost them the midterm election. Do you worry about that at all, and how people will vote come November?
I don't worry about it. I put it in God's hands and work really hard. But I was in the Armed Services Committee a couple of weeks ago, and I was talking with Pete Hegseth. And I said, President Trump gets no credit for what he was correct about. Over a year ago, he said that Iranian ballistic missiles could reach Paris or London, and everybody thought he was full of it. And then we saw the ballistic missile at Diego Garcia. Now, we destroyed in Operation Midnight Hammer their ability to enrich uranium, but they had already enriched enough to build 7 or 8 nuclear bombs, which is at least enough to make a dirty bomb. So I asked Pete Hegseth, Secretary of War, I said, if they put a dirty bomb or a nuclear weapon in one of those ballistic missiles that could reach Paris or London, would that kill 100 people? Would that kill 1,000 people? Or would that kill 1 million people? And he said 1 million people. So thank God we have a president and a military with a backbone that stopped that threat. And if anybody in the world says that if they get a nuclear weapon, they wouldn't use it, they're being disingenuous. This is a culture of death, and we've got to stop them.
Yeah, presidents for 50 years have said they were going to do something about it. Donald Trump's the only one who did. All right, Congressman John McGuire, thanks for joining us this morning, and have a great weekend.
God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Information. Truth is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.